In this session, we're going to be taking a look at Onlne Responders. And here we have a certificate authority server and we have a client computer. When a new certificate is issued by the certificate authority, the client computer that the certificate is being issued to will query the issuing certificate authority to find out whether or not that certificate is valid, meaning whether it has been revoked. Now, in our last session, we talked about the certificate revocation list, which is a list of certificates that have been revoked, and we looked at how we would publish those certificates to a certificate revocation list distribution point. Now, traditionally, the certificate revocation list was checked by retrieving that list of the published certificates and then having the client computer download that certificate. We have a newer method, an HTTP method, referred to as the Online Certificate Status Protocol, OCSP. And this protocol responds faster and more efficiently than downloading the traditional CRL. The Onlne Responder is the trusted server that receives and responds to individual client requests for the status of the certificate. That is, whether or not the certificate is valid. So the OCSP responder will retrieve CRLs and provide a digitally signed real-time certificate revocation status response to clients based on a given certificate authority's CRL. So our Onlne Responder is going to process certificate status requests much more efficiently than if you had to download a CRL from a distribution point. In our session, we're going to take a look at configuring that Onlne Responder. To configure the Onlne Responder, we're going to click on Tools, Onlne Responder Management, and in the left-hand pane, we're going to right-click on Revocation Configuration and select Add Revocation Configuration. We are presented with the Getting Started wizard for adding the revocation configuration. And you see here outlined the steps that you will need to take. First, you will need to specify a name for the new revocation configuration. You also need to select a certificate authority certificate to associate with the revocation configuration. You need to select a sign-in certificate to sign Onlne Responder responses. And you need to configure the Revocation Provider that will process revocation status requests. So we're going to click on Next. And we now need the name that will help us identify this revocation configuration. And it is recommended that you use a name that can identify the certificate authority you would like to associate with this revocation configuration. We're going to use our online keyboard. So I'm going to click on the taskbar on the online keyboard. I'm going to type the name of our revocation configuration, and we're going to call it DC Contoso. We want to click on next to continue. And now we need to select the certificate authority, certificate location. We have three choices. We can select a certificate for an existing enterprise CA, and you would want to choose this option if your certificate authority certificate is available in Active Directory or on the CA computer. Another option is to select a certificate from the local certificate store, and you will choose this option if the CA certificate is available in a certificate store on the local computer. The third option is to import the certificate from a file. If you have saved your certificate to a file, then you'd want to choose that option. For our lab exercise, you're going to go with the first option. Click next to continue. And here we have to choose the CA certificate. You can either browse the CA certificate published in Active Directory, or you can browse for the CA by computer name. We're going to choose the first option, so we're going to click on browse. And we're going to choose the certificate Contoso DCCA. So we're just going to make sure we have that highlighted by clicking. And then you would select OK to select that certificate. And then you want to click on next to continue. You can see here the name of the certificate we selected. Want to click on next to continue. Then we have this step to do, select the sign-in certificate. And you also have some options here. You have automatically select a sign-in certificate. You can also select auto-enroll for an OCSP sign-in certificate. Or you can manually select a sign-in certificate. For our exercise, we're going to choose the last option. Use the CA certificate for the revocation configuration. So we're going to click on that option. And we're going to click on next to continue. Our last step is the Revocation Provider. And this is the part of the Onlne Responder that is going to process the certificate status request. We can view and edit the properties of the provider by clicking the provider button. And once we have done that, if we choose to edit, we can click on finish. So we have actually gone through the steps of configuring the revocation configuration for our CA. We looked at the Onlne Responder, and we noted that the Onlne Responder is a much faster and efficient method of showing the certificates that have been revoked or accessing whether or not a certificate has been revoked. This is the end of our session, and I would like to thank you for listening.